Hi guys, Thom Hunt here and welcome to another Westin video. Now I've got something a little bit different and I think a little bit special for you today. The following film that we've edited, we were actually originally going to put out as just a vlog series, just shot by me, GoPro, bit of escape cam, underwater footage, keeping it kind of simple. What's been really interesting is once we got the footage back and fully reviewed all of the escape cam footage, there's a number of things that have stood out to me and I'm just desperate to kind of talk through them with you, show you what I've learned, because without the escape cam, there's a number of things I would have completely missed about fish behavior, species that were around, watercolor. There's so much stuff in the following film. So enjoy watching this. I think you'll enjoy watching it just for its own sake, but stay tuned to the end because I've got 4 main kind of key learnings, key points that I learned from it that we're going to go through, discuss and kind of do a post-match review on it. So hope you enjoy it and I'll see you towards the end. Well, good morning guys and welcome to another Westin vlog video. Today I've got this little contraption to take out. It is the Westin escape cam. It's the spring. I should have some clear water here, and there's a few jack pike around. So yeah, we've had a bit of a downpour last night. It's pretty grey today, but I'm still hoping for a few bites. Just to run through the rod and reel and setup and whatever, I've gone for the power cast 8'3". So just a little bit of extra length to give you that leverage of trying to cast obviously the camera and the bait. I've got 55 pound braid, so that's 0.33 in the W6. I don't mind going extra heavy because I obviously don't want to crack it off, don't want to lose any fish, that type of thing. I've got a bull tease 12.5 on because I just know that I can get a bite anything from 2 to 20 pound on that. And I've got about 2.5 foot, I would say, between the camera and the bait. So yeah, about 2.5 foot between the camera and the bait, and I think that's about right for getting the camera far enough away that hopefully it doesn't disturb the pike feeding, but also if you make it super long then it's just a pain to cast. So right, let's get into it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to run the GoPro around my neck as well, so we'll have a few different points of view. But yeah, I'm just hoping we can see some stuff underwater. I'll probably stop halfway through to review some of the footage. Hopefully I've caught by then. And then, yeah, I've got all day on the escape cam. So let's get to it. Right, here we go guys. As I mentioned, the bull tease 12.5, just such a brilliant snack sized bait for everything from £2 to £20. So like I said, I just want to focus on the camera today. Oh, hang on, remember, before you cast out, Tom, you do need to turn the camera on. So get the flashing lights, wait for the sequence. Yeah, just loading up, does a battery check, green, so we're good, and here we go. Yeah, 2 to 3 foot, keep it nice and light on the jig head. I've only got like 5 grams on the jig, keeps it in the middle to the bottom of the screen. They do sync. I've got the Wi-Fi on today, so they do sync quite nicely. You know, if you wind too fast, it will come up towards the surface. But, God, water's up really high here today. So I've got a feeling I might actually just catch quite short anywhere right under my feet. So it's an absolute dodder. You can actually cast it on even down to like a 50 gram rod. Got the 130 today just for a bit of durability. I'm hoping to try and hook a decent pike as well. And I might want to throw big baits. Might want to throw anything up to 22s today, but we'll start on a 12 and just try and get a bite. What I would say with the casting, don't try and give it full beans, because then you end up with the sort of bait and the camera looping a little bit. Just give a nice, slow, steady, considered cast.
Oh no, that was the first one on the ball tees, and he came off, just flicked it out there and he clobbered it straight away, but hopefully should have that on the camera. Oh, there we go, 2 bites. Oh, that was exciting. Could be a little jack, that one. See if he's following in. Oh, I wonder what sort of footage we've got. There are some real tiny little cucumbers in here as well, so but oh god, there we go, got him. First fish, well, second fish on the escape cam. Let's keep it up out the weed. Now they are going to be super strong at this time of year. It's only a little one. Very cool. Oh, he's come off. Nice chap here. Another one, nicely on the paws. Right, we're going to net this one. Just to show you the setup. There we go, cool little jack. Look at that, nailed it. Whoop. Right guys, now this is why at this time of year, you can see this, I like using thick fluoro leaders, because they have a tendency to go absolutely nuts. Loads of energy, and be careful, even when like these jacks are the worst for getting a hit in the mouth, in the finger. So there we go, pretty cool. Ball tees 12.5 and the escape cam combo, and beautiful little fish. Back it goes. Woohoo! There's one. Just over the top of that weed. Another little jack. Oh my god, he's absolutely... This is what I mean about using... Right guys, keep him in the water. Hope you can probably see this. And get my pliers out. There we go. And what you can do is, just for the safety of the pike, so be really careful at this time of year. These little jacks are the ones that go nuts and can really bite you. You've got to be super careful. You don't want to damage them as well. Make sure there you go, see, they always flip like that, so make sure you keep them in the water or over the water. Oh look, it's just down there. Cool, another one. Must be a perch. Thought it was a perch. Oh, that's all right. Nice chunk. Cool, good condition too. All right, 34. Oh, went pike fishing. Caught a perch. There's the card reader. I'm going to take the SD card out of here and going to get my phone out and have a look at the footage.
So that is the bit where I've, on the bank, used the card reader to watch some of the footage on my phone. Obviously it's a little bit smaller than if you're on a laptop or something, but you can quite clearly see the number of bream. That is the first thing that I noticed, was the number of bream in that area. And I always imagined bream swimming around in quite a tight shoal, probably quite close to the bottom, probably quite slowly. These fish we're probably in maybe 10, 12, 15 foot of water. They're right up in the water. They're all mixed. They're swimming around. Some of them are even chasing the lure. So I wonder if that's a territory thing, if they're starting to spawn and stuff like that, because you can see them turn and come towards the lure. So they're obviously quite interested in it as well. But the main thing, I had no idea. Big bream, you think you'd get a line bite. I didn't get any line bites. I had a number of hits, but are clearly from the pike. No line bites. The fish are up in the water and there's loads of them. I could not believe that I had no idea they were there. They didn't roll. I couldn't see them in the water. But the one interesting thing as well, look how dirty the water is here. I mean, it's still clear enough to get good footage, but when I reviewed the footage later, there's other areas where I'm over gravel or mussels. The water is crystal clear. There's no fish there, but the clarity here, I think, is really what's interesting. I think the bream are grubbing around. They're maybe eating some of the weeds. There's a few weeds in this area. I think it's attracting some small fish. We didn't actually see any small fish on the camera, but that's definitely attracting the pike. So where there are any fish, I think there are all fish, all species. And then at other times, you're what I call fishing in the desert. There's basically nothing out there. There's no bait, there's no bream, there's no pike, there's nothing. So that was the first thing that I thought was really interesting. That is very, very cool. So this leads me on to my sort of second main point after reviewing the footage. The number of times that the pike have come up and hit the camera, completely ignored the bait, but hit the camera. And I think this is a territorial thing. I think these fish they're definitely post-spawn, but they're kind of half and half. They're not sure whether they're back on the feed or they're at the tail end of their kind of territorial spawning activity. And I think if you think about, I've got a great big solid black camera that's got a lot of presence, and then I've got a bait which isn't super big and natural coloured. They're ignoring this, but they're coming up and smashing this because I think they're basically saying, get out of my zone. This is my territory. And when we catch pike around these kind of spawning times, a lot of the time they will have tears and bites all over them. They get so excitable from kind of anywhere from like March through to April when they're doing their spawning, and you catch a lot of them. They're super skinny and they've got big bite marks in. So I think they're perfectly happy to go and chase each other off, bite each other, and they're perfectly happy to chase something like that off as well and kind of semi-ignore the bait. So kind of makes me wonder if I'd put a bigger bait on. I wonder if I'd get less hits on the camera and more hits on the bait. But what amazing footage when I've actually got teeth marks in this camera. This was the one I was using. And those pike coming and fully engulfing it, and you get the inside of all of the gills. Is just the most amazing footage. It's so cool. And on this one, even though that's another cool. So I've had a follow in. He's hit the camera to start with. Next cast, the tail's actually folded over on the bait, but he's still sat there, and that's right on the edge of the gravel to the weed. That is no more than like maybe 5 meters from where I'm stood in the water. Didn't spook, just was hanging around, chasing it off. Very, very interesting footage.
How many times? Still coming for it.
Right, now this is my third observation, kind of in the review, and it is the number of times a pike will hit the same bait. So I don't know about you guys, a lot of the venues that I fish, you can sometimes you get a bite, and sometimes they will never come back. That's it, you've had your one chance. Sometimes, if you've missed them on the first cast, you can catch them on the second cast. But what this footage is showing me at this time of year, again, maybe semi-feeding, semi-territorial, they are prepared to hit the bait a number of times. The classic example I've got here is 6 on one cast. We have the same pike, he's only a little one, but we've got the same pike hitting the bait 6 times in a row. Very, very interesting footage. And a number of other times, I think, although it's on subsequent casts, I think it's the same fish coming up, hitting the camera, hitting the bait, hitting the camera again. That's what makes me think it's much more of like that territorial response, where anytime that thing goes into their territory, they're prepared to just chase it away. So at this time of year, so what does that mean for us in terms of fishing? You could probably catch quite a few fish on maybe a bigger style bait, because I think that's kind of where we've got a small bait here and then a medium but jet black camera. I think if you combined that into one bait and you created a medium to large bait, I think you're going to get quite a lot of hits. Whether it's feeding or territory, you're going to get a lot of hits. I think what you might struggle with though is a good hookup rate, because like I said, they're not really trying to swallow it. They're hitting it a lot, spitting it out, hitting it, spitting it out. So that could be one adjustment that I would make. The other one is the color of the lure that you're using. So I'm a massive fan of headlight for a lot of the time, because I think it's really realistic, but maybe something that's going to almost aggravate them a bit more. So it could be jet black, it could be orange, green, anything that's kind of basically going to catch their eye and let them know that that lure is in the zone. I think they would be prepared to chase it off. So if your hookup ratios are low in the spring, which we do get a lot of the time, maybe consider things like stingers, maybe consider things like bigger baits, but make sure you've got enough hooks in it, or maybe consider like different colored baits to try and sort of almost reaction strike, aggravate them on, rather than maybe imitate like a match the hatch type thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How I didn't get that, I had 6 goes at him. But watching the behavior, you can obviously see prepared to chase it out of the zone. I mean, he's only a small one. He's probably like 60 centimeters or something. But as soon it was on the drop, he's come and hit it once. I've tried to strike, he's come and hit it again and again and again till he's chased it fully away. Incredible footage. Absolutely love that. And this is my last one. So the last tip, again, is just about learning on this venue. So like I mentioned with my first tip with the bream and the color of the water, we've then got really clear areas. We've got gravel areas that I'm going over the top of. We've got mussel beds that we're going over the top of. Weed beds, and I can see which type of weed it is. There's actually so much you can learn from these underwater cameras that tell you, maybe not necessarily, you know, it's not all about what I call the hero shot of a pike coming up and hitting the camera or the bait or whatever. This is a learning tool. It's a learning tool about me understanding more about this lake. Mussel beds. I didn't know there were mussel beds like this in here, and they're not everywhere. They're only in a couple of areas. The first thing my mind starts thinking is, a little bit later in the year, perch fishing and fishing creature baits or Ned rigs over the top of those mussel beds. I'm absolutely super excited now to get back into those certain spots where I've got mussel beds and kind of search that area out. I think that's going to be where some perch are going to be holding. Yeah, like seeing the different clarity. I've spotted a couple of bream shoals in different areas. And yeah, just seeing the other species, the underwater things. Most of the time, there's a lot of nothing. Where we did find weed beds, that was where the pike were hanging out. So again, when you're creating what I call a pattern for your fishing, looking for those weed beds, maybe not necessarily on the camera, but weed beds, we know as soon as you're casting out, you might cast out, be in this swim, nothing, this swim, nothing, this swim, oh, found a little bit of weed. I know from the escape cam footage, the pike are hanging around the weed as well. Might spend a little bit longer in that swim because I know that there's some weed there, maybe to hold them. So using the escape cam to understand all of the underwater topography, substrate, species, you just don't know half of what you're fishing in front of until you use something like this underwater camera. I'm absolutely loving it. I hope you've enjoyed the video too, guys. Like and subscribe, and for more footage like this, drop some comments below as well. I really love chatting to people. I want to know if you've used the escape cam or any underwater camera. What type of footage have you got? What type of things have you learned? Because again, yeah, it's not all about the hero shot. I think this is one of the best learning tools that we can now utilize in our fishing. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.